Hey YouTube, I'm Motor Racing Network Steve Post, and we love when some of our racing friends stop by. And this week we have Ryan Reed, Nationwide Series driver for Roush Fenway Racing here. Ryan, first off, good to see you. Welcome to Plan B Sales, and good to have you here on this side of the country as you're a West Coaster.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This place is pretty cool. It's as a kid, I always loved Diecast and collecting them and getting Dell Jr.'s signature, and so it's kind of like Candyland in here, so it's pretty awesome.
It's got to be Candyland to have your own race car, though. Talk a little bit about your own diecast car.
It's really a dream come true. You know, to have the number 16 Roush Fenway diecast is cool in itself, but then to tie together American Diabetes Association, Drive to Stop Diabetes, Ryan's mission, it means so much to me. You know, being affected by diabetes. To know the difference that we're making out there in people living with diabetes and affected by diabetes, it's an amazing feeling. You know.
Ryan, to share Ryan's story for those of you not familiar, a few years ago, coming over, had an opportunity to talk to Kyle Busch, going to go racing full-time, race the short tracks across California, did well, won races and everything. Coming across the country, got feeling sick, self-diagnosed himself with diabetes, ended up going to a doctor, and Ryan, you were told that you're never going to race again. What happened after that, and what was that like?
It's really what propelled me to keep pushing and not give up. You know, with diabetes, it's such a demanding disease and a lifelong disease right now. So it is really easy to throw in the towel, and no one's going to blame you. But hearing Ryan, you can't do this no matter what you do. You know, made me like, okay, well, we'll see about that. You know, so luckily I got with a great team of doctors in Southern California, in Peters. She's a godsend for me, and she got me right back on track. Got me all the tools and medications necessary to go out there and keep doing what I do, you know. And it's not without effort, trust me. You know, she has a very demanding nutritional schedule. Training has, become extremely important. So diet and exercise is a huge part of my life now. But I think as a race car driver, it's kind of going in that direction. Look at Jimmy Johnson, 5 championships later. You know, he's kind of setting the precedent.
Exactly. And when we look at this, one of the things I find fascinating about it is all of the things during the running of a race. There are things, I just cracks me up. It cracks me up because it just shows commitment by everyone for this cause. You know, everyone has their tire changers, their jack man, everything else. You've got a guy actually that's trained, should you need an injection, to give you a shot, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I have a monitor in my car, a wireless blood sugar monitor that allows me to know my blood sugar. So if it's going too high, I'll just radio into the pit crew, let the guys know. They'll dial a couple of units of insulin in the pen and reach in and give me a shot. So, it's amazing the technology is that far to where we can do a 12, 13-second pit stop and give me an insulin injection. So, kudos to the guys doing it, and kudos to everyone that's been a part of, letting me be able to compete at this level.
I just think that's amazing. I really do, and I just love this story, and I love success stories and never say never stories, and you certainly are that. It's been very exciting. Now, here on YouTube, we do a lot of questions as well on our Twitter account. Our Twitter is Plan B Sales, and he's driver Ryan Reed on Twitter, so follow along with both of us there. The first question is from Ryan Borges 24. Question for you, Ryan, is how do you start a career and head toward NASCAR as a young driver? Tell us a little bit how you did it, and then how you would suggest someone else to do it.
I started off in go-karts. My dad, I'm a second-generation driver. My dad raced for years. It was kind of like, okay, son, here's a go-kart. And, I just kind of progressed and climbed the ladder from go-karts. I went to Legends cars to late models to K&N, East to West, and then into ARCA, now into Nationwide. So racing is a little different. I feel like, baseball and football, there's kind of a more traditional path laid out. Racing, there's a million different directions you can go. You can go dirt to asphalt, asphalt to dirt. There's so many different directions you can go in, so it gets a little convoluted, but I think that as long as you're doing competitive racing at a young age, you can develop into whatever series you want to go into.
Yeah, get out there and do it. I think that's the whole thing.
Yeah,
there's no substitute for that.
Teaching a good competition, racing hard, there's no replacement for that, whether it's on a road course go-kart or an oval dirt track with a go-kart. As long as you're racing side by side and learn that competitive edge, and that's what's important,
Logano 22 fan has a question. What has been the toughest part of the Nationwide Series this year? You've ran a limited schedule. What's been the toughest part?
Yeah, it's been a mixture, I think for just on the, the nation, just to go out and make laps, I think it's the radial tire. The Goodyear radial tire is different. I was on a radial tire in the ARCA series, but it was a Hoosier and just quite a bit different than the Goodyear radial. So that transition is big for me. And then the other side is, when you're racing door to door with guys like Kyle Busch and Brian Vickers and Elliott Sadler, Trevor Bain, it's tough, and they don't give an inch. You have to earn the respect, and you have to earn every spot on that racetrack. And so you're racing whether it's 250 laps or 150 laps, 200 laps, you're racing your hardest every single lap. So I think that's been the biggest transition there.
Do you ever have one of those moments where I'm racing side by side with a Daytona 500 champ like Trevor or Kyle Busch, or are you good at staying focused at the task at hand and not getting in awe of who you're racing with?
I got to admit, my first race at Richmond, I was battling up. I was in sixth, I think, tracking down the top five, and we got a caution. And I had Brian Vickers, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, all guys that I grew up watching race, and it took me back, and I just had, it was very humbling to realize, first of all, how great of equipment I was able to be in with the Roush Fenway guys, and second, just how cool it was to, kind of achieve that lifelong dream. But now it's business as usual, and we go in there, and I keep my head on straight, and, the kind of stardom factor is over, and it's just about, driving race cars and doing our best.
Really, really cool stuff. Final question we have is Race for Life 21. And I've seen the question, and you and I chatted a little bit. The question is, what are the plans for 2014? Okay? There are plans for 2014, I understand, but we don't want Jack Roush to kill us. So there are plans for 2014. We just have to wait for the announcement, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're going to do an announcement tomorrow afternoon, Friday, at Charlotte, and it's really, really exciting. I'm super pumped. Unfortunately, I can't talk about it at all, so that's all I can say, but it's going to be really great stuff, and it's really exciting.
He's never been in problems with Jack. I've never been in trouble with Jack, folks. We're not going there now, so consequently, we're not going there now. Ryan, before we get out of here, the opportunity to run this year nationwide, Diecast cars, racing against the superstars and everything like that. This has got to be a kid from Baker's, California's dream that you're seeing unfold here. How has it been just in the driver's seat of this year?
It's just been so humbling, for me and my family. My dad, he wanted it. I mean, he worked his whole life to get to this level and didn't quite get there. And so, for me to be able to reach it, it means that much more to him that, he's able to be a part of it. And it's his son reaching his dream. And, for me, it's just everything all the adversity we had to go through as a family, to come out the other side and drive for Jack Roush, tie together the diabetes side with racing. It's just, there you can't ask for a better way for it to happen and go down. So I'm just really blessed, and I thank God every day for the opportunities that I've been given, and I just try and work my hardest, stay in the gym, go to the shop, and do my homework, and go out there and race my hardest. The
American Diabetes Association is an awareness campaign. What do people need to be aware of?
Diabetes, it's an epidemic in America, and we're trying to use the NASCAR platform to its fullest potential, the TV time, and the hundreds of thousands of fans that come through the track, and just talk about what diabetes is, talk about how to prevent it, and spread awareness. That's the huge step in stopping diabetes. So we're just trying to do our part, and just play that small part in helping maybe stop diabetes someday.
Well, Ryan, we appreciate you swinging by here, Plan B Sales, and folks, we have autograph cards that Ryan has signed here for us, so you can get those on the website, planbsales.com, and he's one of the great young drivers with a great story, and we're just so glad to spend a little time here today with Ryan Reed at Plan B Sales.